friends, it's Izzy Jones. I'm here to talk to you about sponsoring, and it starts with changing your mindset with this company and with your abilities. Having that mindset towards this company is the best. This company is life-changing. It has changed my life. It's changed all different lives, whether it's financially or through, the friendships, the things you gain, the personal development. Having that confidence that this company is a place to be, having that mindset around it, start changing it of like, oh my gosh, I have to just get someone to join, to this company is phenomenal. Sapri is life-changing. We're more than just makeup and skincare. That is when you're going to find it so much easier to approach people. I find it way easier once I had that mindset switch of realizing, having that confidence. Because before it was, oh my gosh, I have to get people to join my business. How do I get people to just do business? It was that switch of realizing that this company can truly help people. And whether it's financial, and think of those things that are not just your results. If you've had major results, life-changing results, absolutely. But go and find other people's stories. Hear what other people have been able to do and realize and know that this company has so much to offer people that if you don't, you're robbing them of their opportunity. The other thing is to have that confidence in your ability. For the longest time, I wanted to talk to people about, you can make millions here. You can do life-changing things. You can retire like yourself. You can retire your husband. You can do all these things. I had never done it. So I wasn't actually believing what I was saying, and I wasn't truly confident. I'm like, I want to go sponsor people so they can make life-changing moves when I haven't done that myself. Until somebody once said to me, well, what have you accomplished? Have you sold $100 before? Have you recruited at least one person? Have you made $1,000 in commissions before? Well, then you're qualified to go teach that. Go and teach that to somebody else. We're not here to make people millions. If you've done that, great, go keep doing that. But if you've made $100 here, then you are absolutely qualified to go teach the next person to make $100. Let them know, hey, this is what I've done and I can teach you too. I guarantee right now that you're thinking, oh yeah, well, I've made $1,000, I've made $100, I've made one sale. If you have made one sale, you're qualified to go and teach the next person to be able to make one sale. So you learn what you're capable of and go and teach that. Realize that, wait a minute, I can teach what I do know. I know how to make Facebook Reels. I at least know how to go live. I know how to do a story, whatever fits this for you. I know how to make a post. I'm actually really good with wording. Or I at least know how to put on mascara. Okay, I'm qualified to teach someone else how to put on mascara and make at least one sale. Then go out and do that. Then sponsoring isn't hard. It isn't complicated once you realize this is what I'm qualified for and I can absolutely go and teach. And then find those gaps where you feel, I don't know how to make more than that. Okay, let's go find those skills. I don't know how to do these other skills. Can I go and learn them? So the more you are qualified for, the more skills you build, the more confident you're going to be into sponsoring people to do that. All right, let's talk about overcoming objections. And I'm gonna have a different approach on this than I feel like most people might. First off, you cannot convince anyone to join this business. You cannot beg them to. You cannot force them to. There is a difference though. This is where you need to realize my dog is drinking water right now, right in the middle of the video. And I feel like I'm not gonna cut it out. We're gonna embrace it. You can answer people's questions. And this is where you need to start kind of analyzing and reading into it. Are they asking questions or are they telling you no without telling you no? If they're telling you no and saying, I don't have the time, then this is how I would respond. Well, this business does take time, but what I have found, this is where you can implement the feel felt found without trying to be defensive and convincing them to join. Be like, well, you're wrong, this is right. Go, this business does take time, but what I felt was that I've been able to fit it into my already busy schedule. So you need to tell them, honest truth is, straight up, if you have no time and you're not willing to make time, then you don't have time for this business, you don't have time for my team. Because I want people on my team who at least are willing to put a couple minutes in. I used to always come back with, oh, well, actually it doesn't take that much time. You can easily do it within 10 minutes. I give so much for you. I do it for you. You don't have to do, there's not, blah, blah, all this stuff. And then I had a team that did nothing or expected me to do it all. They're like, well, you said, they never said this, but it was like, well, it wasn't supposed to take time. The people that realized, oh, okay, this business does take time, but you were able to make it fit into your schedule. I want this business because of X, Y, and Z. I know I need this business because of X, Y, and Z. I'll fit it into my busy schedule. Or they'll go, okay, well, it takes time, then it's not for me. And we need to start letting go of those people. Doesn't mean you take them off your social media. It took me over 2 years to join, of watching my sponsor, and then it took me another year of being in the business before I actually started taking it seriously. So don't write those people off, but let them go. Realize they're not going to join. That's okay. Let them go. Still comment on their stuff. Still be there. You never know. It might be for them later. They might not have time. I always thought I didn't have time because I worked a full-time job. Till you do this business and you realize how much like you really can fit it in other places. But a year later, when I was in my business, something changed in my life that it now worked for me. So coming over objections, you need to be honest with them and let them know. Now, if they're saying something that, oh, this is, a pyramid scheme, well, ask them why. Why do you think that? Because a lot of times you're getting to the root of what it really is. Oh, I don't feel secure enough, or I don't feel like I would be good enough, or I don't think I have whatever. You're learning and asking questions. So just as much as they're going to ask questions about the business, start asking questions to them as well. And so now you want to meet them where they are at. And so knowing, like I said, what they're talking about. If they're talking all about the time piece, if they're talking about they can't afford it, if they're talking about not knowing enough people, I firmly believe, because there are 2 ways you can sponsor people. You can go the cold message route. You can go the, hey, I said a quick hello and then I instantly try to get them to join. I have noticed personally that every single one of my top leaders or people that have stayed the longest are people that had built some sort of relationship before. And sometimes building those relationships have been really fast, and sometimes it's taken months and months. For me, it took 2 years before I even joined, so she had to work on building a relationship with me for over 2 years. I know people have even longer stories than that. And so building that relationship, but meeting them where they're at. Knowing that, okay, this person is busy, so we don't talk all the time. This person, it has kids, so we talk about that. This person is, their work stuff is what they want to talk about. They talk about the weather all the time. This is finding who they are. And this is a huge, huge piece, is building those relationships and getting them to know, let them get to know you. Now, you want the conversations to be more about them because you don't want it to all be about you, but you want this person walking away feeling like, I know her, I trust her, and I like her, so that later down the road, when you do bring up the business opportunity, which I will later in this video, give you actually tactical things on, okay, besides just giving me the mindset, I need what can I actually do to go sponsor? I will give you that later on in the video. But letting them feel like they know you too. So being honest. If somebody asks you, how's your day going? Don't always say, yeah, I'm doing great. If you're doing great, perfect. But give them a little insight. Hey, this that happened disappointed me. Don't be negative. Don't try to, because if you are negative, it brings down the energy, then they get negative, right? This is something that I just learned recently, and it hit me hard. I constantly talk about how the weather's crappy. Oh, it's snowing out. So what do? They can complain too, and then I complain, and you're bringing the negativity of the whole conversation down. Even though it's what we do, they probably don't even notice that, that's, oh wow, she was being really negative about the weather, because they probably also are complaining about the weather. But now they have this idea of you're not actually this positive. They walked away with a different feeling versus you uplifted them, you empowered them, and what? We validated them. We left them feeling positive. You want them to walk away feeling good about themselves, feeling good about you, and walking away feeling like, yeah, at least I kind of know her. She wanted to get to know me, but I know her too. Because a lot of times when you're messaging someone on social media, you are a stranger reaching out, and you're like, who is this person? Now, don't stop because you don't feel like, oh, well, it's being creepy to reach out. No, I've built my best friends. I have built incredible relationships in and outside of this business from talking on social media, but you want them to walk away knowing a little bit about you, and you're learning more and more about them as well. Something I learned yesterday, and I believe this is going to be life-changing for sponsoring. I was doing this beforehand without even realizing, so I want you to start thinking, my motive, so I'm going to tell you a story about me, and then we're going to implement it into somebody else. I say money's my motivator. When there's an incentive that involves money, when I know I can make more money, sales make me happy because it makes me money. I think my motivation is money all of the time. But the way I run my business, I give my commissions away all of the time. I actually give so much to my team. I actually don't care about how much I'm making. There's so much more. I care more about being seen, noticed, and loved. Now we need to kind of work on the loved piece. That's my own little thing. But I would rather have impact in people's lives and people go, yeah, that's my leader. Yeah, she changed my life. Corporate recognized me. There is so much more knowing who I am. I would rather be creative and be inspirational and have this vision and be noticed for it. Although I'll constantly tell you and I'll perform because of the money piece, but that is the underlying piece. And so if you've ever done the color personality test, the Myers-Briggs test, or now this is the 6 working genius, and I know you're like, oh gosh, another personality test, but this one has truly, truly helped me. I'm not going to go into it. I'll do a whole training on it if you would like to know more of the 6 working genius stuff, but realizing, find those personalities, because that's how you're going to actually be able to get them. Right? If you realize that there's someone who wants the analytical facts, they want the data, give me the facts of Younique, I want to know how much, all these things, great. But don't lead with that if they're the person who their personality actually just wants to be seen and loved. They want the sisterhood, they want the community. And we think, okay, yeah, what is it? But no, you might reach, because I've done this where you see the person is like, oh, I have no money, I'm broke. But I've had many people on my team who that is why I thought they joined. Why I tried to inspire them and motivate them. Like, remember, you're broke, you have no money, you gotta make some money. Come on, I want to help you because you can help your dreams. But they never did anything. But they were the biggest cheerleader on our team. They pumped everybody up. They wanted to inspire people and get someone excited, and they wanted that too. And that is really what was motivating them. And so this is something to also, we can go into a little bit later, is diving deeper into your team, knowing who is what and where to really push them. That doesn't mean we don't need to make sales, we don't make money, but knowing what their personalities are, and if you can know that before you recruit them, before you start talking to them about the business, that's a huge piece that you know how to lean into that. Because our biggest thing is we think everyone thinks like us. I don't know about you, but that's me. I think everybody thinks like me. And I feel like I'm thinking something different every single day. But if you find out what it is, you could literally recruit somebody without giving them a single fact about Younique because you were reaching them as their personality. You're talking to them in their love language. Ever heard that? Read up on the love languages, read up on personality things, and know who you're talking to. And then I will add this. Not that we shouldn't be recruiting everybody in all personality types, but if you start realizing, looking at organizations, we have all blue personalities. Our whole team and organization is blue personalities. Well, we need some yellows, some reds, some greens, or in the 6 genius, I can't remember now. But in those, there's the tactical, there's the people that wonder, there's the people that like to hype people up, there's the helpers. If you need all 6, you need everybody to make it work, all the gears to make your team, the machine work. If you're missing an area, that's where you can start working and targeting, being like, hey, my personality is this, and we really need the opposite. As much as you think you butt heads with those people, because that's normally what it is. If it's somebody who thinks differently than you, it'd be like, oh my gosh, I just want to think about the vision and, what's the team's goals, where are we going, all of this. Let's just, I want to inspire people. Where somebody else is like, no, give me the tasks. I need it. What do I do? Give me the list and I'll get it done. But then you go and tell them like, okay, come up with your own content. And they're like, what? We need both sides. We need people, the go-getters, the doers, the things get done, and we need the people to inspire and come up with the ideas. I can come up with all the ideas. Do I always get it done and close everything? No. We need those people who close everything, help me finish projects, but if they can't do the visualization, they can't do the invention part of it, they also need me. There is a balance on that, and so knowing it before you sponsor them can really help how you talk to them. And then I want to go into people will not join Younique. They are going to join you. I didn't join Younique because I thought it was amazing. I followed my sponsor. I knew her, I liked her, and I trusted that if she said what she said was true, I was going to follow her. I joined because I thought she was amazing and I wanted to follow her. If she said there was going to be no fees and there was no risk, sign me up. Now, I did ask all these questions, but in the honest truth, it didn't matter what she said, I was still going to join her. And that's the same thing with you, is don't lead your content with, don't lead people with. Now, Younique is going to back it up. People will still want to know what the heck am I joining, so Younique and all the facts will back it up, but you need to lead you first. Why should you join me? Why should you join my team? Why should they join you? Why should they join your team? What makes you special? How are you going to show up as a leader for me? How are you going to show up for me weekly? Do you have, like, when I sign up, what are you going to do for me? What does how does the sisterhood help? You say there's a sisterhood, but like, do I have to reach out to everybody? They can reach out to me. Show them what it's like to join you. They can join anyone in Younique, but why should they join you? And I'm going to say this, and some of you are going to cringe. That's okay. Videos, videos, videos. You can do all the photo posts in the world, and I think photos are awesome. They're a great way to still show off a little bits of you and other parts of your life. Photos of your dogs, photos of your kids, photos of your family, photos of situations that you're in, absolutely. But any sort of video content, I do believe Reels on TikToks are really good, but a lot of them are you just dancing and pointing whatever to the newest trendy sound, which is still great to do. Please don't stop doing them. But video content that people get to know the real you. I literally had someone sign up because she saw how many live videos I did and TikToks and Reels and all of that in my stories of me just talking, my real face, with and without makeup, pajamas, dressed up with my dogs outside, in my house, in my car, so that I was a real person. And she was like, oh, you know, there's a lot of scams out there, but I can see that you're a real person, and I understand that when you say join my company, you're real. And so sharing more video content. I follow a woman on social media, and I truly, to my core, could answer a 20 questionnaire about her. What's her favorite color? What's her favorite food? Where does she live? Who's her parents? Where is she born? Where does she live now? What's her, all this stuff about her. All because I watched her stories, I've watched her live videos, and any content she posts on social media. We have not talked in person. I've never met her in person. We've not talked one-on-one, but I feel like I truly deeply know her to almost a stalkerish level. Now, you can be careful what you put out there. I don't put my address out there. I don't actually know her physical address. There are a lot of things that I'm sure I don't know about her to the point, but I feel like we are really good friends and I would totally join her business. I'm not. I'm here for Younique for Life. But I feel like that. And so all those people out there who don't have a business, are not loyal to their company, are going, oh my gosh, heck yeah, I want to be with her. She looks like my online BFF. I totally want to be part of her team. Are you making people feel like that? Do they know the top minimum 5 things about you, let alone all those other cool, fun things about you? Do they know you have dogs? Do they know your kids' names? Do they know your partner and his name or her name? Do they know where you live? Doesn't mean your actual address, but like the city you live in, where you vacation, what you like to cook. Do they know what different rooms your house looks like? Because I feel like I know what the inside of her house looks like, although I'm sure there's parts I don't. But I know her kitchen layout. I know what her bedroom looks like. If you rearrange a cupboard, show them. Videos, because people are going to join you and Younique will back it up. Okay, I want to leave with you 2 tactical things you can actually do and take away to sponsor more people. The first one is, I want you to go to people you know for a fact that you've not asked them about your business, but you've had some sort of conversation with. I suggest having a back and forth conversation more than once. But people that maybe you talk to them about product, maybe you talk to them, I said happy birthday, whatever it is, and go to them and say, hey, have I ever asked you about my business? Have I ever talked to you about my business? You know. First of all, you should know. Scroll back up. Do the research. This is your business. You know how many times I've had people say something to me or like, oh, where are you going? Or what are you up to this weekend? I'd be, we literally talked yesterday and I told you. Or we had a conversation last week. What do you mean? Now I know that they run a business just like me and they're talking to a lot of people, but before I respond, I make sure I check. Have I ever talked to them about my business? Are they on my follow-up list? No. Oh my gosh, we've been chatting for 6 months here and there about stories, my photos, whatever, travel, their birthday, I wish them a happy birthday, they wish me a happy birthday. Hey, have I ever talked to you about my business? And then it opens up a conversation. If you want to go deeper into what you say after that, we can definitely chat about that later. But then there you go. Think of the color personalities. Think about the different categories of their personality and go into there. Another one, where do I also find those people? If you're not already sending out thank you messages for everyone who's watched your stories or engaged on your content, please do it. And you cannot do it enough. Every single day, I think, oh yeah, I've talked to this person so many times, and it turns out this person's engaging on my content, and I've never messaged them, or we've talked many times, but I've never once thanked them about joining a business. And why you want to do this is because you want to thank them at least once. Then next week you see she's still watching my stories. Okay, I'm going to just talk to her casually. Okay, a week later, she's still watching my stories. I went to go send her another thank you message. I would say you can do about 2, maybe 3 thank you messages, but make sure it's really far apart. And then you go and you see, okay, like this is 3 months in a row. This girl's been watching my content. I'm going to reach out and say, hey, I see you're watching my stuff. Thank you so much for the support. Have I ever talked to you about my business? Would you be open to doing what I do? I see, like, she knows what you do because you're on your stories all the time, talking about what you do, talking about your life. She knows you, she likes you, and she trusts you. She's watching you. And she should know you should have at least shared some sort of product and some sort of video about joining your business. So open it up. I've sponsored a lot of people, but just like, hey, I see that you're liking my content. I truly appreciate it. You know, would you be open to doing this business with me? Would you be open to hearing more information? Let me just tell you a little bit about it. That's all. Those are 2 things you can take away: wording and where to find those people. Because you'd be shocked about how many people are engaging on your content that you're not even paying attention to. Thank you so much. My name is Izzy Jones, and I appreciate you watching this. Have a beautiful and blessed day.